CR-V Hybrid. It's all new for 2023. It has everything we love in a compact SUV. It's a hybrid. We're going to see a lot of these out on the road this year, and everything in it from top to bottom has been redesigned to make it maybe the best CR-V ever. It's reliable, it's comfortable, it's versatile, it takes care of us, and now it's taking care of you with a redesign for the 2023 year that gives you lots of technology, lots of comforts, and now even better fuel economy. Honda estimates that half of the CR-Vs that are going to be sold from here on out, half or more, will be hybrids. We just spent the day driving around in the hybrid and getting to know the 2023 Honda CR-V, and it's pretty impressive. If you like Honda and you like the CR-V, you got to see this. The makeover on the Honda CR-V starts with this new grille. So the badge is right there in the middle. There are actually radars buried in that badge that help the drive assist system. And then notice there's the honeycomb air vent on the bottom. Then there's this black gloss honeycomb on the front. It's got kind of a cool modern look to it. There are slim new headlights, and then there is a larger body design. So it's actually longer. It is a little larger on the interior space and many more interior comforts for passengers. Probably one of the most notable things about the 2023 Honda CR-V though are these taillights. So notice these taillights and how they frame the car. They've always had these very distinct taillights that frame the car, and these are even more elegant. And here's what I love are these little swoops here that frame the backup lights and then frame these taillights, but you see them all here. At night, it's a very distinct signature. You notice on the rear that this is the Sport Touring Edition, that there is a CR-V Hybrid here, and also all of the hybrids are all-wheel drive, which is noted by the AWD there on the rear window. Honda made a lot of changes on the inside of this car too. Let's take a look and I'll show you what's new for 2023 inside the Honda CR-V. Front seat passengers though get all the goodies. So it starts here with this really beautiful new design, this mesh grille here. You can change the air direction by just twisting these little levers. There are climate control functions here. Wireless charge pad. So if you get the package with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto that are wireless, you also get the wireless charge pad. And note here that there's room for two phones in this holder. One can charge, the other one would have to plug in if it needs to charge, but there's room for two phones. A really nicely designed, elegant center console, two cup holders here, a little tray, which is a perfect place to put your key, an armrest with a tray here, and it's actually a decent amount of space in there. This beautiful leatherette interior with contrast orange stitching, and a leather covered steering wheel. So let's start it up. You hear a helicopter, but did you hear the car? You didn't hear the car because it's hybrid. So it is designed to start quiet and run quiet until you need to use the gas engine to kick in. So you can run this very quietly, creeping out of the neighborhood, not waking up the children as they're sleeping in the back of the car, and you want to creep into the driveway quietly. You can do that because this car runs very quietly. Lots of great features, lots of great luxuries in the 2023 Honda CR-V. The view from the driver's seat gives you a new driver's information screen here, a new multimedia screen here. So there's a lot more function in this screen. You have new apps and more settings that are more advanced than they have been in the past, including this one I love. You can actually set up your clock however you'd like to see it. So you can tap your settings. There are clock faces. I have it set for ladybugs, but I could set it for palm trees. I could set it for sea turtles. So whatever delights you, you could set your clock. I thought this was a really nice detail. I'm going to leave it on ladybugs. So I think that ladybugs make me happy. So I love that. You can also connect a phone to the smartphone, so Android Auto or Apple CarPlay will pop up here, and you don't even need to do this. You just connect it first with your wire, and then after that, every time you get in, you'll have wireless Apple CarPlay if you've selected it. And how do you know? Well, you'll also have a wireless charge pad, so that's right down here. And note that this space is actually sized for 2 phones. So you could put one phone here and have your phone there. That's a pretty nice little detail as well. Here on the center console, we have our USB ports. So there are 4 in total, plus a 12-volt there. There are the gear selectors here. B mode is what you want to go into for the most efficient driving. Here are your drive modes, and I'm going to show you over here your drive modes. So there is Econ, Normal, Sport, which is always noted with the red, and then down here is Snow mode. So if you need to drive in snow mode, well, you can. And then we have our downhill descent control button here, parking brake, and auto hold, which I really love, or brake hold is what they call it, is one of my very favorite features. There are cup holders here, there's a little tray here for a key, and then underneath this armrest, there is a little space where you can stow a few things, which is pretty nice to have. I love this mesh grille that covers the climate vents, the air vents. Those are lovely. And then notice these really pretty door panels. So Honda's done a really nice job with some of these materials. You see a lot of gloss black that frames the steering wheel here. But then there's this hammered metal panel here that gives you just a little eye candy. Just catches your eye with a little detail that sort of mimics the mesh panels that you see over here. Over here you'll see there are the door and window controls. There are blanks, so maybe at some point there'll be some other options here. You can turn off traction control. You can open the lift gate with this button. And then on the steering wheel, here are your volume and your settings controls. Here is your heated steering wheel. And then here is adaptive cruise. So these are all your adaptive cruise settings right here. And a very nice sunroof. Rear seat passengers have a lot of comforts here. So I'm 5'8". This seat is set for my driving position. I've got plenty of leg room. There's a relatively flat floor here, which I really like. I don't have a sunroof here, but I do have plenty of headroom on in the back of this car. There is the standard pull-down armrest cup holder here. There are really nice door panels here, so the design is pretty nice back here. And then there are air vents and 2 USB-C, the more modern USB-C ports here. That's kind of it for rear seat passengers. So it's not a lot, but it's good enough. And then there's this. The rear seat, these seats recline. If you're going to recline the seats with you in it, you are going to have to pull the shoulder tab like that, but it does recline quite a bit, which is nice for a car this size. Behind the wheel of the Honda CR-V for 2023, we're in the hybrid. You get a really nice drive experience. If you like driving Honda and you like driving compact SUVs, this car will make you happy. So it has about 200 horsepower in the hybrid model, plenty of horsepower, plenty of torque. So when you tap the accelerator, you have all the power you need, and we're gonna use it to pass this truck. But here's the key to life in driving an electrified powertrain, which is what this is. Even though it doesn't have a plug, it's still considered an electrified powertrain because it's a hybrid. And that is driving in the most efficient mode and learning how to regenerate even more power back to the battery. So the first thing you do is you put it down in B mode, make sure that you're in Econ rather than normal or comfort or snow. And then as you need to slow the car, whether you're coming up to an intersection, you're driving down a hill, pull this left paddle. Now, if you pull it a bunch of times, you're automatically in the most efficient regen mode, meaning you have the most regeneration going on when you lift your foot off the accelerator. But you can actually pull this paddle as you come up to an intersection, and you'll get even more regen going on, and the car will demonstrably slow. It's not going to get you to a full stop. There are systems that do that. This is not one of them, but it will teach you how to think like an EV driver. The hybrid version has more horsepower and more torque. And while you do hear the engine, it gets up to speed pretty quickly, which is really nice. Gives you all the confidence that you need for driving on the highway, merging onto the highway, passing a truck, things like that. It also gives you a lot of confidence as you're driving on a road like this, which is narrow, a little curvy, and has a lot of hills. So speed limit's 55, which is pretty fast for a road this narrow, but you have all the confidence you need. And you've got a little bit more. So we have it in B mode. So we're going down a hill. And so even while I'm accelerating, I can pull back the left paddle, and that gives me a little bit more regen, a little bit more energy set back to the battery, which will improve our fuel economy. So we were getting 26 miles to the gallon a little bit ago. We've ticked it up to 28. And if I keep driving like this, econ mode, B mode, and pulling the left paddle shifter, I will get up there to where the fuel economy should be, which is really about 40 miles per gallon. Another detail that I'll show you is this, Apple CarPlay. So once I connected my phone, and I'm just using the I'm using the wired version. I can connect wireless if I'd like to, and this gives me directions. I had preset directions in my Google Maps earlier. So all I do is plug it in, and there it is. It's pretty easy to use. The cargo area is quite sizable. This one has a flat floor that is level with the lip of the cargo area here, but the Turbo Edition, the all-gas edition, has a double height floor. So you can actually take this out and lower it and create additional cargo space. You still have a panel or a cubby here, there's a cubby here, there's a 12 volt here, and if you're going to put a child passenger car seat in the center, your tether is right here in this little panel in the ceiling, not in the seat back. Interesting. You might actually notice that they are here and here, but there's not one for the center. It's right here. And when you're ready to put the gate down, you do have an electric button that closes it for you. That's pretty nice. The design and engine changes for 2023 make this a really nice Honda CR-V. So there are 4 versions. There are 2 turbo versions, which is all gas. There are 2 hybrid versions. The turbo versions are priced at about $31,000 and $33,000 or so, and the hybrid versions are priced at about $34,000 and about $38,000. So you get to pick the features and the fuel economy that you want for your budget. Keep in mind that the hybrid versions are, the top of the line hybrid version is all-wheel drive is standard. All the others, all-wheel drive is a $1,500 addition. And if you live in a snow state or someplace where terrain is challenged, all-wheel drive makes all the difference. Honda did a really nice job with this redesign. We're excited to spend the day with the 2023 Honda CR-V. I can't wait to take it on a longer test drive.